Starting this journal right here is probably one of my favorite things I've done in 2025. I love so much about this journal, and I'm going to go through it throughout today's video as I'm giving this journal a little bit of an update. You know, we're past the halfway point of the year and I just have a few things I want to swap out and just revive in it. And I thought it'd be fun to take you along with me as I do just that. This is what it currently looks like. This is the red version from Paper Republic. I'll have it linked down below. I have this little charm on it. And then if you open it up, this is the current layout. I have a pocket insert and then my first notebook on dotted paper. This is for recording all of my memories. I have a 2-page spread each month where I write down special moments I don't want to forget. It's very personal, so I'm not really going to show you any of the completed pages here. The pocket continues, and then I have my reading journal where I log all the books I read. And if I keep flipping, there is another pocket insert, a translucent envelope, and at the back is a little notebook for recording Portuguese words that I'm trying to learn because I'm always trying to improve my Portuguese. And then the back is the second half of that envelope. So she is packed and can't really handle any more additions. So can't really add anything, but I do want to do a little bit of tweaking. And the first place I'm going to start is actually with the outside of this journal. I'm not going to do anything except swap out my little charm here. I do really like this charm. I got this one from Michael's, and I feel like it gives the planner a little bit of personality. It gives it my special touch. But the one thing with this charm is, you might be able to tell if I put the journal like this, it's not a flat edge charm. So it creates this little bump, which is fine, but I often find it just like is always twisted up, and sometimes it ends up over here and I have to like really deliberately move it to the center. I don't hate it at all. I just think because I have this one here that is a little bit more flat, that it'd be cool to experiment with a moon charm instead of this one. These are really inexpensive charms from Michael's. I'll include links to them and everything I used in today's video down in the description box below. So let me take actually everything out of this journal. Taking out the reading journal, taking out you, taking out you. And it's really simple to get this one out. So I just need to take this knot out. I take it out. I'm just gonna slip this guy off as so. Now you can kind of see the ovalness of it. It's beautiful though. So don't be surprised if it ends up back on my journal. And then this one I'm just gonna thread through like this. Now I had contemplated putting this on the spine because I've seen a lot of people do that on their journals in this style. But the problem is if I put it on the spine, it'll like bump out, and I don't want to make writing in this journal any more awkward, and I feel like it will if there's like a little bump there, but maybe not. Maybe it'd be fine. For now, we're just gonna do this. Okay, now we thread her through the middle. I think one of the reasons why I've really enjoyed this journal so much, even in the short time that I've had it, like the 6 months I've had it is really patinaing now. I'm noticing even near that hole that it's darkening, and I feel like the patinaing makes it feel like something that's well used and loved, and I just love when things look like they've been used. Fully expect to fall more and more in love with this journal as the years go on. And I'm so glad that I got this journal in a red color. I'm just going through a little bit of a red moment at the moment. Ooh, I may have made this too small. For sure made that too small. We pull that through and oh, it's gonna look so cute. Okay, now let's fill this in. So the first page that I like to have is this little folder pocket that I currently have this little dream card at the front. I just picked it because I like the flowers at the front. And inside there's a spot for my reading review stickers that you can get for free with the link in my bio. I've got a receipt in here, some random papers. Now it's really important for me to have these pockets in this particular journal and to kind of have them available for use, because this journal does, unlike many other journals in my life, come with me places because it's so small and tiny that it's perfect for popping in your purse. And that's one of the reasons why I love it. It's just so flexible with being something that can go on the go. I do want to revamp this. I'm going to start first by putting it inside, and let's focus on swapping out this card at the front. I was looking through this old deck of cards I have called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. The artwork in this one is really pretty. I still like the Dream Decoder artwork a little bit more, but these ones are gorgeous too. And this quote in particular, I just feel like I resonate a lot with. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Cheesy to some, yes, but it speaks to my soul. So we're gonna put it on here, and I just have like a little gold paper clip to put that at the front, something inspiring. And then when I open it up, I want to take out these papers. I'm going to keep the review stickers in here because they are convenient. I'm kind of thinking it'd be cute to put a Polaroid on this. Maybe like, ooh, I like the idea of putting this pop of color right there. And I would love to put this Polaroid maybe in the pocket. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I kind of feel like it'd be fun to put one of these in here. Ooh. Okay, let's get these journals back in here now before we start working on some spreads. And after that one, which one is going next? The reading tracker. Okay. And then I'm gonna use another band around the reading tracker. And this is how I'm going to add this envelope. I don't really want these things in this envelope anymore. Let's take it out. It's mostly stickers and stuff, but I don't feel like I end up going to them, at least not these particular stickers at the moment. And then in the middle, I will put the Portuguese lessons. Does that work? I think so. In this envelope, I feel like it'd be nice to put some cool image or whatever. So I'm gonna look through these magazines until I find something that speaks to my soul, you know? Ooh, I like that. Ooh, bundt cake. Wait a second. You know what's so random is I've just recently bought a bundt cake mold, and now it's been in my head that I want to make a bundt cake. So I kind of feel like that would be really good inspiration for that. Actually, I might need to use a ruler. Measure out how much space I have to work with here. We've got about 7.5 centimeters. I'm gonna say 12. Okay, so. Oh my God, she's perfect. Okay, look at that. I like that the translucent envelope kind of mutes everything on it. I also feel like one of these from the library of Caitlin De Silva book plates would be nice at the back of my reading journal here. These are also available for free down below. And then I kind of like that at the back there's all this text as another background. This is a prime example of why I find this journal so fun, is the smallness just makes me feel very playful. Like I don't overthink things because I'm like, you know what? Not a lot of space to work with. So if I hate something, like this is just a little picture from a magazine, it's easy to quickly rip out. Okay, so I'm thinking it'd be cute to include here a little baking list for the fall. And then I'm just gonna slip it in here. I don't even need to really put adhesive on it because this envelope I think is going to keep it pretty sealed shut. How cute is that though? Like that took nothing. And on the flip side, I have this gray paint chip that could work. I kind of hate the way that I wrote the word attention there, but not everything's gonna look perfect. So we just gonna have to go with the flow. In it goes. And I'm gonna seal her up. And there we go. Cute. So we've changed the front, we've made changes to the interior, you know, with our new setups. Now I want to tackle some actual spread layouts. So let's get started with the first one I want to do, which is setting up my September memory log. I really want to incorporate red into this layout, and that's why I cut out this cardstock that I had, because to me, like, September means the start of fall, and red just embodies all of that warmth. I'm gonna paste these in here. I'm using wet glue because I still have not gotten sticky tabs restocked in my life. So let's do the first one. I want it to meet in the middle. Press it down, and we'll do the other side. I'm gonna get these blinds up so that you're not blinded by all those shadows. Let's get these. There we go. Months ago, maybe a year ago, I can't remember. Time means nothing. I used this marker watercolor hack to make these watercolor stamps. I'll include like a video of what that looked like on the screen. And I used it for my e-reader decor, but I had some extras that I've kept ever since for another project. And I thought this would be a great layout option for memory keeping, because essentially I can write down a different memory on each of the stamps that stands out in September. I love this idea. I kind of think this one should go, ooh, no. I also used my Cricut to spell out the word September. Do I really want to write it the whole word though? I don't know, that feels like a lot. Maybe just sept. It's at this point where it's crucial to commit with glue. 1. The memory log page has shockingly been such a special one for me to flip back to. It amazes me how quickly we can forget about small memories if we don't document them, and I think our camera rolls are a great tool for this as well, but sometimes just writing, you know, because some of the memories I write down aren't like necessarily big moments, but they're just moments that I felt really good or small joys, and it's just special to have them recorded and kind of anchoring them in a timeline too. Or should I do it like there? Yes, I like that. Yeah, I would highly recommend, if you don't already, to find a way to start logging these memories. Finding even a spot on your phone in your notes app to write down those little small joys each month. You may think you won't forget those things that you write down, but like you do. And I think it's one of my favorite journal spreads I put in here, because after I stopped bullet journaling, I didn't really have an avenue for writing those things down. So it's great to have that back in my life. Here's a little mock-up of what it will roughly look like when it's filled in. I'm picturing it in my head at the moment, and I think this is a really cute concept for a spread like this. And I mean, like, this is so extra for a memory log. A lot of my other logs that I've done throughout 2025 are so much more scaled back and much more pen and paper vibes, but I do think this is a fun, creative moment to have together. So I'm glad that I put this one together. September is going to be a fun memory month. Of all my journals, my reading journal is the one that I've been the most creative with in terms of the spread layouts. I've just been more prone to adding in photos of covers and getting ripped paper involved here, sticker work, and they all look very different and distinct from one another. This has been like my little small planning joy that I've had at the start of each month. So again, this is kind of like satisfied that bullet journal craving that I've had, or that love of bullet journal spreads I had, but doing it in a smaller contained way. Like doing a spread for something that takes less space than 2 of my hands is so much easier, quicker, faster, less intimidating than even just a regular like bigger size notebook. I don't know, something about the smallness works really well for me. The concept I have for this reading spread is so extra, but I'm going with it anyways because I figure, you know, if I'm gonna do a spread with you guys, I feel like it should be a little fun, a little extra. There's definitely a time and place for talking about very simple spreads. I think that was like the whole basis of what I used to do with bullet journaling, was really trying to make it fun, creative, but also something very doable. Now, you may or may not be able to tell that I am outlining at the moment a building. And this building is not just any building, but because we are doing a reading log, I want this to be a bookshop. So I'm outlining everything that I've already penciled in black. I'm just using my my Sharpie S-Gel black pen because I know this one doesn't bleed. Although I talk about like, it's okay if things aren't perfect, I do tend to outline more intricate spreads like this in pencil so that I don't absolutely lose it when I start using my pen. I feel a little bit more confident. Start coloring. I'm a little nervous because I feel like things can go really wrong here. For those of you who read books, what is your favorite way to track the books that you read, to log it? I actually just downloaded this game on my Switch called Tiny Bookshop. The whole concept is that you have a tiny bookshop and you're selling books to different neighborhoods, and you actually have to give book recommendations, and the books in the game are real books. Like, they're the descriptions for things like Divergent and Macbeth and Paper Towns. Definitely the definition of a cozy game. Like, it's not, a ton of things aren't happening in the game, but as a reader, I really like it because I'm just getting to read about books while I play and try and match a book synopsis with the customer. If you're looking for a cool computer game, Switch game, in the book category, check that one out because I have been enjoying it so far. I'm like 2 hours into gameplay, so very fresh. Really overcolored on the lines there, but that's okay. We're gonna pretend I didn't do that. As a kid, what was your favorite form of coloring? I remember loving twistable crayons because then you wouldn't have to deal with blunt crayons. Pencil crayons were usually my least favorite because you always had to sharpen them. And even as an adult, I'm like, if I have to sharpen one of these, I get so annoyed. It's at this point that I'm like, yeah, this was a very extra project to do, but alas. I think the top here, I'm just gonna use my Tombow to speed things up a bit. This as an adult is my favorite thing to use to color because look how quickly that happened. And maybe I'll do like little bricks. Ooh, you're like, wow, Caitlin, that really is making things come together. I know, sometimes I know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna write September reads to fill in the top there. This is where I'm gonna go really extra, and full judgment is totally welcome here. So I'm putting this page on top of my cutting board because we're getting my X-Acto knife and we are cutting out these windows, and it's gonna be adorable. When you are using an X-Acto knife, please be extremely careful. No one wants injuries by paper. See the vision. Now I need a pencil because I need to fill in these windows with books. Just gonna mark out the windows here. Very rough pencil marks. And now I'm gonna make my little shelves. I think I'm gonna just use a pencil or a pen for this. I'm committing. So I like to make books with stacks like this by just doing tons of lines, and some of them are close together, some of them are not. Now this is really reminding me of Tiny Bookshop because all of the books in that one are color coded by genre. So like I think fantasy is purple and classics are beige. Perfection is not necessary here. She said to both convince you and herself. Yellow is gone. Yellow is gone. I repeat, yellow is gone. Oopsie daisy. See, that would just grind my gears when I was younger. I'm feeling a certain type of way about the yellow, and it's not a good way. Oh, again. Okay, one more yellow, and that is it. You're in timeout. I don't want to do blue. Maybe teal? Ooh, teal could be fun. I was trying to think quickly about what books I'm most excited for in the second half of 2025. I don't think I have many books I'm like eagerly anticipating to be released. How peculiar. Now when I flip this over, oh my goodness, how cute is that? That's the best thing I've ever done. Ooh, I'm gonna make that shelf dark brown too. Now when I flip it over, oh my gosh, that's precious. So as fun as our little house is, our little bookshop is, I do need to make a spot for me to actually record the books. Guys, I think this is one of my favorite reading longs I've ever done. So I've got some spots here on the left side to write down which books I specifically read. There's a column for me to keep track of how many books I'm reading. Then there's a column for me to make a rating for each title, and then a spot for the title itself. We have our cute little bookstore. And then if you flip it over, I decided to use these gaps to almost be like a highlight roundup of like my favorite read of the month, the number of books I've read, the number of pages I've read. And I'm keeping this page blank. I'm just gonna keep it the yellow checkered pattern and call it a day. And then I guess like if I need some more room for more book titles, although this should be enough, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think that should be enough. But if I have a really crazy reading month, I can slip another like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 book title logs there as well. But I'm gonna keep it blank for now because I think this should be enough. The only other book that I haven't updated is my Portuguese book, but that one's just kind of an ongoing thing. I don't really have anything specific I wanna do in here. I love how this came together, and I think these little upgrades are just gonna make me really excited to use this for the second half of the year. Like, I'm really curious to see by the end of the year how full this thing looks. And even I'm getting inspired to think about ways I want to rethink this in 2026, because this has just been so much fun. And yeah, I wanted to kind of take you along with me. I really enjoyed doing a bit more planner type of content on the channel. So if you've been enjoying it, let me know. Like the video too, and hit subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And me and my little journals, we'll see you all soon for a new video. Until then, bye guys.
Can you write me something? Something like you love me. One more time, I need to hear it. Just one more time. Say that it's over. Say that the sadness is killing you now, that you're feeling it in your so raw feelings. Everybody leave it.